I Care a Lot is about a woman who games the system to become the legal guardian of elderly people and then scams them out of everything they have. It works until she tries it on the wrong lady, but don't be fooled, there's no good people in this. Marla gives some opening monologue about how there's no such thing as good people and that it's a lie made up by rich people to keep others poor. You see where this movie's going, right? Okay. And this guy tries breaking into the nursing home to visit his mother, so then there's a court hearing that's decided that he can't visit her because Marla, her legal guardian, has decided she's not well enough for him to visit her, and she even justifies selling all of her assets, including her home, and the judge sees no problem with this. Then there's a scene of him yelling at her in front of the courthouse for ruining his mother's life, and she tries to turn it into, oh, he's just mad because he lost to a woman. Are you kidding me? Or maybe it's because she ruined his mother's life. Yeah, I'm sure this movie gets better as it goes on. So, when she gets back to her office, she finds out that one of her clients died, and she's only upset because she can't get any more money out of him, but good news, he had a nice room in the retirement home, so now she can get even more money out of her next victim. But she has to pay to hold the room, so it's time for her to just fast track someone into her care. So she goes to her friend, Dr. Amos, who picks up patients to make false reports on to get them into Marla's care. Look, I'm not docking this movie for having the main character be a crappy person, but you'll see why this is so annoying later. Anyway, she gives her Jennifer Patterson, who has a bunch of money and assets. So after one court hearing that Jennifer isn't even there for or aware of, and testimonial from one doctor, the judge just grants Marla custody of her. And the next day, she goes to her house, forces her to go into a retirement home with her with cops and everything. I don't know anything about the state guardianship process, but there's no way it works like this. At least I hope to God it doesn't. But Jennifer's in a retirement home now. Then they take her cell phone because I guess she has to ask permission to make a phone call before she can, like it's prison. I'm pretty sure retirement homes don't work this way. Marla and Fran then start immediately getting all of Jennifer's stuff appraised and selling it off. This is not their stuff. Jennifer has a bunch of money in her bank accounts that they would have to go through to justify this. I'm pretty sure this isn't how this works. You know what? F it. This is what's happening. Oh look, a key. And it goes to a safe deposit box full of gold, money, and diamonds. Well, that's odd. Then a taxi driver shows up to pick up Miss Peterson and then leaves after finding out that she doesn't live there anymore. Well, that's odd. The taxi driver then goes to meet her son Roman to tell him that she moved, and whoops. And it turns out that these diamonds aren't insured, so I wonder who they really belong to. And Roman finds out what happened, so he's pissed. So he calls his lawyer to bribe and threaten Marla into releasing his mother from her care because he knows what she's doing.
And I get it. I understand why you targeted her.
I just responded to a call from a doctor.
Right, sure. Let's stick with that.
But Marla says no. Then Marla goes to Jennifer to find out what's going on and who she really is, but Jennifer basically tells her to screw off. So what does Marla do?
Sam, I want you to adjust Jennifer Peterson's routine. Take her arthritis and pain meds down to minimum. Push her physical exercise to grade 4 level. Give her an upper at 9 at night, then sedatives in the day.
I'm pretty sure she can't control her medication. She's her legal guardian, not her doctor. Either way, this is called elder abuse. Then Roman's lawyer takes her to court, but since the judge sucks, he denies the request to dissolve the guardianship. And it turns out Jennifer isn't really Jennifer, she's just stole the identity from a kid who died a long time ago. Since the court didn't work, these three take a tour of the retirement home to get Jennifer out of there. And why would you tase this guy right here? And why is the security guard shooting a gun in the hallway? Or even have a gun? Well, I guess it's time for the guns to come out. And in comes Marla, because when there's an attempted kidnapping, who do you call? Apparently the legal guardian, because she needs to be there for some reason. And she somehow foils their plans, so that sucks. Then it's revealed that these guys are with the Russian mob. It was at this point that I realized that Marla and Fran are supposed to be the good guys of this movie, even though they are arguably worse than the mobsters. Honestly, I'm rooting for the mobsters. So since that failed, Roman calls a hit on Dr. Amos, so there's one terrible person gone, just 2 more to go. I thought bad guys weren't allowed to use iPhones in movies. Oh yeah, these are supposed to be the good guys. Since Marla makes such great decisions, she visits Jennifer to tell her that she's gonna die in the retirement home and starts preaching about how unfair and immoral it is for her people to bring guns to retirement home and kill her friends, and that if Jennifer wants out, she should beat her legally. Marla is the last person who should be talking about morals and legality. F off. Then Jennifer just starts choking her out. Oh, if only she would have killed her. Because now, she's going to a mental hospital. Marla goes out to get the diamonds appraised, and then she gets tranked, and this nice lady puts her in her trunk and takes her to Roman. Meanwhile, Fran gets attacked at their house. And after some stupid conversation, Roman decides to kill Marla by injecting her with half a bottle of vodka and pushing her car into the river. And she somehow gets out. Keep in mind, she was just chloroformed, is completely drunk, and disoriented. But yet she managed to get out of a stuck seatbelt, break open the back window of the car, and swim up while holding her breath for more than a minute and opening her mouth several times. And the only thing wrong with her is that she's a bit cold. Then she gets home and finds Fran knocked out and their stove on leaking gas. For how much time had to pass between Fran getting attacked and Marla getting home, there's no way Fran is still alive. Oh sure, now it blows up. Marla and Fran somehow trace Roman's car's license plate to his driver's house, don't even ask how, and they follow him for apparently hours, since it was night when they started and now it's daylight. So they follow him to a parking garage, and Marla takes out Roman's guards, tranks Roman, and takes his car. How is a healthcare worker outsmarting the Russian mob? This just gets dumber by the minute. So after apparently driving all day because it's night again, they strip Roman naked and leave him in the middle of nowhere. And all the while, there's this happy music playing like these two are in the right. I just want to remind you, Roman is only after them because they scammed and robbed his mother and are currently holding her hostage. They are not the good guys in this, Jesus Christ. The next day, Roman wakes up in the hospital, and since no one knows who he is now a ward of the state, and guess who's his legal guardian? Because that's how this works apparently. God damn it. But they make a deal that in exchange for releasing Jennifer, Roman and Marla are going to go into business together to create some huge corporation that screws over the elderly all over the country. So they do just that, so I guess the two bad guys won. But hey, remember this guy from the beginning? Well, his mom died without him ever seeing her, so he shoots and kills Marla. So I guess he was the true hero of this movie. At least something good happened. I don't understand who the target audience is supposed to be. All the main characters are terrible people who make a living by screwing others over. Marla and Fran have no redeeming qualities and not once even consider they might be in the wrong or reflect on their choices. The only reason I figured out you were supposed to like these two is because of the music. That being said, the acting is great in this, and it has some really good actors. Rosamund Pike does a good job in her role, and she even won a Golden Globe for it. Although I don't know how this is a comedy. Peter Dinklage is pretty good at being a scary mob boss and showing his frustration with what his mother is going through. And Diane Wiest is great at switching from an innocent old lady to a psychopathic mobster. Honestly, I think she's the only character I like in this film. The editing and pacing is okay. Some of the scenes seem either unnecessary or go on for way too long, but I particularly like the few montages that they have. The score in this is really good, and like I said, is the only reason I figured out how you are supposed to feel. I seriously can't believe they thought they could trick people into rooting for these con artists. Don't forget to do the YouTube stuff, and thanks for watching.